Hello and welcome to another episode of Experts Unplugged, Leadership Speaker Spotlights from the Tri-State Camp Conference, where I, as a fellow speaker at the conference, I'm going to highlight some of our amazing speakers and some of the amazing executives from the upcoming Tri-State Camp Conference who are working through the American Camp Association's New York and New Jersey chapters. The conference is taking place March 14th to 16th at the Atlantic City Convention Center in New Jersey. Did I get that right? Well, I feel like
12th
it's
to
the 12th
14th.
to the 14th. I
It
don't know
is.
why. And I've been saying the 12th to 14th, and I don't know where that came from. So
I did you see my eyes like jetted to the calendar. I'm like, oh.
Okay, so it's the 12th to the 14th at the Atlantic City Convention Center in New Jersey. I'm Joanne Newborn. I am the CEO of Newborn Evolution, where we transform your organization's vision into real results through leadership coaching, training, and consulting at all levels of the business. So today I'm really excited. We have a very special guest. I'm talking to Samara Feinberg, who's the Director of Events at the American Camp Association's New York and New Jersey chapters. And today we're going to be talking about the topic of leadership in the Camp Association landscape and within the Tri-State Camp Conference arena. So Samara is going into her 20th year in the event planning industry, and she's been at the American Camp Association in New York and New Jersey as the director of events for over a decade. And she's a self-proclaimed meeting planner geek. I love that. And loves applying that knowledge to organizing the annual Tri-State Camp Conference. She's been leading teams since 2008, and she finds it's one of her favorite aspects of working. I have to say also, I love leading teams. Once you really learn those skill sets, it's really fun and rewarding. And being able to shape others as they enter the work world and be their advocate, teacher, and partner in the trenches is a special way to pay it forward. Samara loves camp and credits the time she spent and the skills she learned there with preparing her for what life had to offer in the future. So thank you for sharing time with me today, Samara.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to chat.
Great. So what about going to events helps grow leadership potential? What aspect is that
Yeah,
about?
totally. I think that's a great question because I think time is so precious for all of us, and going to events and professional development and investing in yourself sometimes falls to the bottom of the need list or to-do list. So as an event professional and doing this a long time, I think as when I first started, I couldn't really imagine why these events were so important. And when I got to my first one ever on site, a large scale event, I saw just the potential in the networking and peer focused conversations alone were just so incredible for building yourself up. And I just think investment in yourself is the first step to being a really strong leader. So I think events really have the place to do that. I think you cross communicate with folks from other industries or from other companies and can learn and grow from them. And just learning from amazing speakers like yourself, and just at any event, there's always just a plethora of knowledge to gain. And again, I just think leadership is born out of those things. If you think as a leader you don't need to learn anything else, you are lying to yourself. And the best way to learn it is from peers and subject matter experts. I think you get that at conferences and events.
Yeah, absolutely. And that key word that you said was, words, investing in yourself. That's tremendous. And you're right, people don't do enough of that. And the other piece is now that we've sort of had this gap, when the pandemic happened, being able to be in person again at conferences, I really, really do see the value of the collaboration and the connecting. Like you just can't get that in a virtual space at all.
100%. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing you in March and all the people that we talked to for months and months leading up to the event. It's just so special when we get there and everyone is, hugging at registration or fist bumping or whatever. And we really did miss that in the, couple of years we weren't gathering.
Absolutely. Tell me about some ways to that you best utilize your leadership skills at the Tri-State Camp Conference.
So, being an event planner is, I mean, every job is different. But being an event planner, there are just so many moving parts. And I think that really segues into leading so many different teams. So while some folks may think you're just leading the people under you in your organization, I don't believe that. I believe that you can lead yourself. I believe you can lead your, people above you, below you, lead from the middle, just so many options. And I'm really lucky that I don't just get to lead the tri-state team from the staff at the ACA New York and New Jersey, but I get to lead with other folks, a huge volunteer crew, tremendous. Over 100 people volunteer in many different ways at tri-state. It's part of what makes it so special. They are the ones who pick the program and the sessions that people are going to see. They're the ones that help run the exhibit hall. We have over 300 booths of people selling to summer camps, and we have a crew of about 12 folks that really help run that on site. We have people that help with our technology, our registration, hospitality. I mean, really the information, like the volunteer scope is vast. And I truly believe it's why our conference is so successful. We have people leading the summer camp industry, helping us lead the Tri-State Camp Conference. And because of that, we get so much more knowledge. We get so much more subject matter experts. I said that earlier, but I really believe that that's a key to, leading well. And we joke that our conference is camp for the camp professional. So coming for the 4 days in Atlantic City becomes their camp. It's their time to be the camper and our time to be the staff. So we're really leading them in having a beneficial and wonderful and successful experience on site, from learning and shopping in the hall, learning from the sessions, just networking. We have spaces for affinity groups so that if someone is the only person at their camp that maybe has an accessibility, hard of hearing, let's just say, we have a whole group that meets and they can get together and talk about the positives and the things that are hard in doing that. And we have about 15 of those groups that meet. And, it's just really special to watch the camp community connect with people that are not from their camp. And I think a lot of the learning happens there, and a lot of the leadership growth happens from those opportunities that we give them.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And being able to share those best practices with other people is so vital. I mean, I even find that when I might go in and do a virtual workshop with an organization, and they might have people from 5 different countries under the umbrella of their organization, and they start sharing best practices, and they'll say to me after, we never really think to do this just by ourselves, amongst ourselves, but it
Yeah.
really is so valuable.
You're so right. That's a wonderful point. Also, our name, Tri-State Camp Conference, makes people think we're just 3 states. Some people think New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. It actually started as New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. But because of the size of our conference, we actually get folks from all over the country. Last year, I think we had 35 states represented, Canada, Spain, I think
Amazing.
last year, China. So it's really cool because you think that camp is this insular thing where it's different, it's the same, but frankly, every camp has the same mission at the end of the day, which is giving campers, whatever your campers may be, a successful, safe place to be, and they leave a better person than they came in. And, whether you're in Idaho or New York or China, that's the goal. And we get to see that come to fruition on the grounds at Tri-State.
Amazing. Amazing. What's a moment that you found yourself picking being a leader over the other facets of your job?
It probably happens every single day. I truly think, I really believe in that if you're going to lead, you have to be willing to do everything that anyone that works with you or for you or under you is going to do. So there are days where I'm picking to alphabetize badges and staff them over, doing the main parts of my job that are in my job description, quotes, because no one does what's just in their job description these days, I don't think.
Yeah.
But if I had to say there was one specific time, I can go back to this really, it's impacted me immensely moment. In March of 2025, I was pregnant with my one and only wonderful daughter, and we had an incredibly large keynote speaker that year. Hillary Clinton was our closing keynote.
Wow.
uh, an industry coup. It was an incredible moment in my, you know, experience and trajectory of my career. And I run the general session, like the AV wise, from back of house, all that jazz. And I needed to run outside to do something. And I was literally running like pretty pregnant. And because cell phone service didn't work, et cetera. And I got outside and it was a mob house because we had never had someone like this before. Frankly, usually plug for our closing keynotes, stay till the end because they're really awesome. But like usually folks leave early, just the nature of the beast. And no one left early, of course, because it's Hillary Clinton. And I'm walking and I'm coming back and I see a woman sitting on the floor. And she wasn't injured, but something was going on and someone was with her. But I just felt that as a natural leader, not just the person who runs the Tri State Camp Conference, but as a person in general, I think leadership is all about, being the best version of yourself that you can so that others, I stopped, even though I was about to run the biggest thing of my life. And this
Oh,
is not a pat on my back. It's just like
no.
my instincts kicked in and I stopped, and the crowd just really made her nervous. And she was having a little bit of like a panic anxiety situation. And I sat there and I sat with her for a few minutes until the, real help came. And unfortunately or fortunately, I understand the world of anxiety and I talked her through it. And we, explained it may feel physical, but it is not. And you're going to be okay. And we're going to all get through. And then help came and I went back to my seat and put on my headphones and ran the general session. And to this day, I think I could have just walked by. Someone would have helped her. This is camp world. People are so
Yeah.
helpful, but I just couldn't. It just didn't feel right. And I think, if I were going to impress any leadership thing on anyone listening to this, the hopefully more than 5 people that are my family watching because I'm on TV, it would be that, listen to your gut. Your gut is what got you to this place, to wherever you are in your journey of being a leader. And most likely your innate leadership, tools are inside of you. And whether you're a seasonal staff member at a camp or the owner, when you see a camper that needs help or a staff member that does, you stop. And that's, it may make you an hour late for something. It may push back your whole timeline for the day. But to that person, you really helped. And what's better than that in being a leader?
Yeah, and that's really, true leadership of knowing when to keep moving forward and when to stop and take those moments. And I think we hear a lot today about, empathy and emotional intelligence. And like you said, those are things that are already inside of people. Sometimes, it's just a matter of helping them create their own leadership foundation so they can actually work through these things to say, it's okay for me to stop because this is the more important moment right now.
100%.
What do you think is the most difficult part of leading conferences? And you've talked through a few, so
I think the things you can't control, which probably is the most difficult part of life in general, definitely for me. If anyone's watching this again that knows me, they're laughing because I'm a huge control freak. But the times that a blizzard pops up, medical emergencies, a keynote being MIA and you can't get in touch with them. Those things, no matter how much you plan, you can't control them. And I think leading through them in a calm manner and then maybe freaking out later in a storage closet, I've never done that before, is, to me, it's very hard. And I pride myself on, or at least my goal is always to be that silly analogy of a duck sitting on a lake where
Yeah.
you're just gliding, but my legs are going like this
Mhm.
underneath. I never want people to know how difficult it was until after when we debrief. And I think what I would say for anybody who is hoping to, become a leader of a team or of an events team specifically is remember, it's okay for you to admit something's hard, but you have to get through it and you have to lead through it and you have to have good ideas and you have to be open to other people's ideas while getting through those moments that you can't control. Outside of that, detail, 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 detail oriented is important. And I just think advocating for the folks that you work with and who work for you, even if they did something wrong, deal with that with them behind closed doors, but have their back in conversations because it only leads to a more trusting relationship. And, I see that all the time in events, even with the folks working for venues. So, the food and beverage people or the AV people, it's not important to take them down a peg in front of folks, but you can talk about that after and talk about things could have gone better, but they're going to trust and respect you more the next time you come to the building. And it only leads to more successful relationships.
Yeah, it's so true. Everything you said is so true. And what you were saying about, when things don't go the way you were expecting them to, from a mindset perspective, that's really the only time we learn, right? When things go perfectly, we don't really learn or grow. It's great. Like we've learned to get there, but when we have those challenges and bumps in the road, that's when we learn and grow and we move to the next level. So they're all gifts, all of them.
In the moment, they may
Yeah.
feel like a lump of coal, but you are right. They're totally gifts and you will grow from them. So
Absolutely. Well, that's our little unplugged nugget of Samara's time here as the director of events for the American Camp Conference in New York and New Jersey. And she's been bringing execution excellence to the conference for over a decade. She will definitely be on site. So be sure that you stop and say hello and really thank her for all of her hard work. And I'm going to be speaking on Wednesday, March 13th at 8:30 a.m. I'm talking about creating rock stars, designing a collaborative high performance team. So bring your coffee, come join me, because leading a high performance team that can be consistently relied upon is an absolute must have in order to thrive and serve others in today's changing landscape. So thank you so much, Samara, and I really look forward to meeting you in person in March.
thank you. You too. It was great chatting. See everyone soon. Bye.
Bye.